Hi everyone, Abby Fox here of course, and I have come down to the beach today because the sun is shining and I wanted to record this video that is all about fears, failures and finding your way home. The reason I've done this is because I think we can so often get caught up in what we're doing and forget why we're doing it. And we let our fears and our failures and our frustrations in everyday life really impact us and leave us getting stuck. So for those of you that know me or that have watched quite a lot of my videos, I moved here to Ibiza March 2015. So at the time of recording this video, I had lived here for 2 years. And if you've ever been to Ibiza, you will know that it holds a very special place in most people's hearts. They land here and they really feel something. It really does something to so many people. Like, they come here searching for something. I was chatting with somebody here the other day and we were talking about why people come here. And they really are searching for something, some meaning in their life. I first came here when I was partying all of the time and all I wanted to do was escape my life, and Ibiza gave me a real sense of freedom. It really did. Anybody that has come here feels a connection. Just like when you first meet your partner, you feel a connection. And that is what any special place, any special person, any special connection will always do. It will have a special place in your heart. But what people come here to Ibiza for is a deeper reason, I think, than they actually realise. People come here because it is one of the partying capitals of the world. The partying here is absolutely out of this world. There is everything for everybody. And people come here and get lost in drink and in drugs and in parties. But really, what do those feelings mean to people? They do it for a sense of freedom. When you do an ecstasy pill and you're on that dance floor, there is very few feelings more free in this world. And I think that is what people come here for a deeper sense of connection. And when I first met Mowgli lived in Ibiza, but we met when he was in England. And I felt something that I haven't felt in a very long time, probably since I first landed in Ibiza. And that was a really open, honest, heartfelt connection that felt that this is where I'm meant to be. Have you ever met somebody and felt, yeah, this feels right? Have you ever gone somewhere and felt, yeah, this feels right? So for me, Ibiza and Mowgli were both of those things. It just felt really right and I didn't know how to explain it. But I didn't have to. If something feels right, it just is. So when Mowgli and I were doing long distance, he was living in Ibiza for the summer for about 6 months and I was in England, and we did, I was flying here in the summer once a month for 5 months, which wasn't too bad, but it was pretty great actually. I got to come on holiday here to Ibiza. But what happened was, when I was leaving to go back to England, it felt like my heart was being torn apart. I felt like I was leaving the two big loves of my life here in Ibiza, and I had to go home. Home meaning the UK. And it was very, very tough and it was very hard. But the strong connection I had, I trusted. I knew that I was meant to be with Mowgli. Mowgli's world was in Ibiza. I had nothing really tying me to England, and I just knew that I was meant to be here, so I trusted. I let go of the need for certainty. I let go of the need to control my life and my future. I let go of what I always knew and just trusted that my life would work out because of that feeling, that connection I had to Mowgli and to Ibiza. And the work that you do in this world, the purpose that you have in this world is absolutely no different. I wanted to share a story that I heard from the very fabulous Elizabeth Gilbert, the writer of Eat, Pray, Love and many more books as a result of that. And she was sharing her story and what happened to her after the success of Eat, Pray, Love. For those of you who have read it, you'll know what an incredible book it was, and it became a worldwide, international bestseller, and her career just blew up overnight. But what happened in the run-up to that is she failed for 6 years. She failed as a writer, serving people as a waitress in a diner, and every day all she had was rejection letters telling her no, telling her her writing wasn't good enough. And for 6 years she persevered until she had to go through some very personal transformation, and that took her on her trip to Bali, on her trip to India, on her trip to Italy for Eat, Pray, Love. And after the success of Eat, Pray, Love, she had people coming up to her asking her, what are you going to do now? What success can you have now Eat, Pray, Love has been so popular? She had the fear of releasing another book and disappointing people who loved Eat, Pray, Love. Or she had the fear of not writing another book and disappointing herself because she wasn't doing the work that she felt she was called here to do. She felt she is born on this earth to be a writer. So by giving into the fear of what other people might think, of disappointing, of failure, she would be giving up on her own dream. And so I ask you, do you love what you do more than you fear failing at what you do? This is quite a powerful question, because if you love what you do, it is worth going through anything to do it. It is worth putting yourself out there, risking rejection, risking failure, risking turmoil and pain and heartache and stress and frustration. It's worth risking all of that because it feels like home to you. Just like that connection I have to Ibiza, just like the connection that you have to that special place in your heart, just like the connection to the person that you love or a friend that you love, it feels right. When you do work that feels right, when you do work that lights your soul on fire and that gives you a deep sense of fulfillment, then that is home to you. That is where your purpose lies. So no matter what struggles you have in your life, you know that doing this work is home for you. So what happens when we have fears and failures? They catapult us into the darkness of disappointment, the darkness of uncertainty, the darkness of really being quite afraid. So we have our safe house here, and then all of a sudden fears catapult us into the distance. Our fears and failures catapult us that way, our frustrations catapult us that way. And this is why we feel stuck. This is why we struggle in our day-to-day lives, when we give in to our fears, when we start questioning our ability, when we start doubting if we're on the right path, when we're frustrated at not being further ahead than we actually are, when we doubt that people actually want to invest in us for who we are, when we start to question our true worth, when we lack confidence in our abilities, and when we don't take action on the things that we know are going to take us home. Fears and failures catapult you into darkness, and that is why you feel overwhelmed. That is why you feel stuck. Just like the tornado in The Wizard of Oz that takes Dorothy up and away out of Kansas, which is where her home and her heart lies. She was taken into a mystery land of uncertainty, of fears, of frustration. And what happened in The Wizard of Oz? Dorothy just wanted to come home again, because once she realised she was in the darkness, all she wanted was to come back to where her home lies. And you, my friend, just like Dorothy, have the power all along to take yourself back to where you rightly belong. You have the power to build the foundations upon that home that feels right for you. Whether that's writing, whether it's coaching, whether it's teaching yoga, whether it's charitable work for children, whether it's counselling people with drug addictions, whatever your work is, it could be putting on events, whatever you feel that you are destined to do and that you know that you can make an impact in this world with, then you must eat any type of shit sandwich along the way that is going to take you there. We don't get that success and that fulfillment from not putting ourselves out there, from sitting in that darkness of fear and disappointment, of sitting in that place of failure and not feeling good enough. It is what we do with those feelings of failure that catapult us back to our rightful home, to where your purpose lies. And this is such an important topic. You have every single piece of power and passion and capability within you to do what it is you are meant to do. The fears will come, the failures will come, and just like Dorothy's trip to Oz, it shapes her to be who she was meant to be. It connects her back to what was really important and makes her honour and respect herself and what is around her. And she becomes present to all that is. And when we go into fear, when we go into frustration, and when we start to question ourselves and feel like a failure, we take ourselves out of our heart space. We go into our head and start to doubt who we are in the life we're living. But in doing that, in catapulting yourself into that darkness, the amazing thing is you give yourself that motivator, that incentive, that drive to find your way back home, because that is what you are meant to do. Remember that connection you have to your partner, to your loved ones, to a special place in your heart. If you don't have that strong a connection to the work that you do, then you will never find your way back home, because simply put, that beacon, that light is not strong enough to pull you out of the darkness. That light has to be so strong that you know that you can find your way back no matter how dark things get. That's the thing. Everything that has a crack in will let the light in. You only need a little bit of light, and focus your energies onto that light to bring you back home. Just like the ruby slippers brought Dorothy back home, you have that light within inside of you. You have everything you need. The fears and failures are part of that journey. But whatever you feel you are meant to do in this world, and if you don't feel that you are doing something worthwhile and meaningful, then this is an exciting time for you, because you have a whole world of opportunities. You have the light to search for. You have the light to attract. And often what we need to do is become the person. We have to put ourselves out there and try new things, experience new things, meet new people, and do things for the love of it, for the sheer love of it, without any expectation, without any joy, not without any joy, with lots of joy, no attachment to the outcome, and just be. There is so much excitement to be had when you have that special place you can call home. A home with your partner, a home in terms of where you live, but a home in terms of what you feel you are meant to do. So I'm going to ask you again, do you love what you do more than you fear failing at what you do? Because that is what is going to set your soul on fire and give you a life with meaning and purpose. Thank you very much for watching. I shall speak to you soon, and I am going to go and have a lovely little chill on this beach. Ciao for now.